thing that I'm super passionate about, as a lot of you know, is I think work ethic is the one thing that's super controllable, right? Like, a lot of us were born with what we were born with, right? Like, you're only so pretty, you're only so smart, you're only so fast, you're only what you are. The one thing that I'm fascinated by as you sit here, the way you were parented, where you were born, what you got, the one thing that actually is in your control is the decisions of what you do with your hand. It's like a great poker player, right? A great poker player doesn't need the best hand every time to win. It's how she or he navigates with that hand. We're not going to change who we are or where we were born or to whom we were born with. But no matter where you are in the life cycle right now, we all have the opportunity to start looking at it a little different. And to me, very frankly, I just think we spend an enormous amount of time on dumb shit when we have ambition to do so much more. Now look, you do you. I'm not interested in peddling being a workaholic. I'm really not. You can do whatever you want. The happiest friend I know from growing up, I think he makes $50,000 a year. He's on 17 fucking softball teams. He fucking takes every vacation day off, and he's happy as shit. And I love him, and it makes me so damn happy. I have friends who were early employees at Facebook. They have $100 million in a bank, and they're miserable, and it's shit. This is not a money conversation. This is very simply, do your actions back up your mouth? To me, looking at the hashtag, looking at people talking about this, looking at their social media, when I have the whole East Coast to West Coast long flight, I get into a lot of work. I get all my work done, and then I start looking at all of your social media on the way here. And I look at the hashtag, and I see what you said about the earlier speaker, and I do my thing, right? The thing that fascinated me a lot about this conference is you got a lot of people peacocking in this organization. AKA, a lot of you were talking big shit. And I don't mean about this conference. I went back and looked at all your tweets. Did you know there were 37 billionaires sitting with us today? I'm fascinated by that. I'm fascinated because we're sitting in a world right now where entrepreneurship is on a pedestal of cool. So everybody's flocked to it. And everybody's talking about how they're going to crush it and what they're going to do and who they're going to be. And then you look at their content, and every Friday night, they're at a fucking concert. And every Sunday morning, they're this. And every Tuesday afternoon, they're that. And they watch a shitload of fucking Netflix. And they're incredible at fucking Candy Crush and fucking. And so, I go on this rant, not to do anything or to razz or to fucking call anybody out. I'm just asking a very simple question. I promise you, if you want to be pumped professionally and personally, there's one thing that will drive you to the biggest success. It's called self-awareness. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you're about? Are you actually talking about shit that you care about? Are you talking because 3 or 4 people that you love talk that game and you just feel like you've got to fit in or appease your mom or dad or uncle or aunt or grandmother's ambition? The thing that helped me so much was just self-awareness. In 4th grade, I punted school because I knew I sucked at it. I knew that I could make $3,000 a weekend as a 10-year-old selling baseball cards, but I couldn't spell 90% of the words that were being thrown at me. It was just who I was. It was how I was wired. And I implore everybody in this conference to really think about this incredibly interesting thing, which is when you're self-aware and you can get to that place of understanding yourself, I implore you to triple down on your strengths and punt your weaknesses. This country is really good at selling down our throats what we're not good at. We're always being sold what to fix. I truly believe that most of the people in this room will succeed by not addressing those things. Now, something could be fatal, right? Like something could really hurt you. But I think you need to just lift those, get them to a certain place so they're not a vulnerability, and triple down on your charisma, and triple down on your salesmanship, and triple down on your work ethic. Whatever those 3 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pillars are, it's fascinating when you study who's winning and who's not. It's the people that have the confidence to suck at shit that are winning. I can't read, right? Like, I'm terrible at it. Like, reading a 2nd grade book to my daughter's like, you sure you want to read, Misha? Go look a bird. Yet, standing in front of 800,000 people, I'm like, cool, I'm good. Like, we need to start thinking more and more. And as you're going through your careers right now, I implore you to be confident in what you're good at and to punt what you suck at. Because I promise you, everybody else sucks at shit too. Everybody's got strengths and weaknesses. And I'm fascinated by people's obsession to pour all their efforts into fixing their weaknesses, which is playing defense, and not tripling down on strengths. To figure out, do they really want stuff? Do they love how many people love working because they just love the game of trying to win at a career or building a business? Raise your hands. Those people are gonna have a disproportionate advantage because it doesn't feel like work. It's just their zone. For the rest of you, you need to figure out what you like about it and spend all your time on that, because if you're in a place where you don't like it, you're not gonna put in the amount of work that's needed to actually achieve the things that most of you want. It's very, very simple. Put yourself in a position to succeed. Put yourself in a position to succeed. And I will find, how many people here feel like they are not self-aware? Because I want to address this if I can. Just raise your hands if you struggle, you think a little bit with self-awareness. Raise your hands. Nobody wants it. I'll just go to it because I respect why that's a tough one, why we got half the hands that we should have, and more importantly, the ones I got were fucking, crocodile hands. If you're listening for the last 7 minutes, and I'm going towards I'm going to an awkward territory. I'm going there because it has been clearly in the last 4 years the thing that I've seen that has won and lost. I would highly implore you take the 5 people that spend the most time with you, coworkers or family members, if you feel like you're struggling with this issue, and invite them to dinner, create a weird event where it's like your mom and a coworker, and everyone's like, what the fuck is happening? Create a weird event, and tell everybody like you really want to figure out what you're good at, what you're not good at, and spend 3 hours getting the people that love you or know you the best comfortable with telling you the truth. Because nobody wants to tell you. Because most people are kind. Right? We don't tell people because we like each other, like especially the people that are closest to you. But this is something I threw out about a year ago in a blog post, maybe 2 years ago, and it's been the thing that I've been most emailed about. It's remarkable, and it's an unlock, because when you don't see it, when you're blinded to it, you're doing the same repeat behavior that's stopping you from the thing, and once you can break it, if you have the humility to be comfortable with yourself, to go there, it's a humongous unlock. But if you're fucking insecure, it's not gonna mean dick. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing with yourself, it's not gonna mean shit. The reason I spend my time on talking about this is not because I want to be a fucking motivational speaker and fluffy fluff fluff and rah rah rah. It's because it's the fucking thing. It's the thing. If your operating system isn't right, you got no fucking chance. If you're not fucking do you know how fucking unbeatable I feel? Do you know that if you think I'm the best and I'm fucking the best and you're wearing my fucking hoodie and I'm the fucking best, do you know how good that feels? Phenomenal. Do you know if you're sitting here right now, never heard of me, and you're like, fuck this guy, I don't like his bravado. I don't give a fuck either. I don't care if you think I'm the best. I don't care if you think I'm the worst. I'm just in my shit because I'm grounded, because I know what I am and I know how I'm trying to live my life. And I want that for every fucking person, because let me tell you something, it fucking is the best. It's such a good place to be. Do you know what it's like to be in your own head and nothing else matters? Do you know what it feels like to give a shit so much about what everybody thinks, yet not care at all? Do you know that when I leave here, I'm gonna look at every single tweet about this talk, and if somebody said, I'm gonna be devastated like I fucking died, yet equally don't give a fuck? When you can get to that place, amazing shit happens. You know why? Because you stop being scared. When you're not scared, you do shit. When you're scared, you do nothing. And when you're not scared, you do shit. And even better, when you're coming from a good place and you're intense good because you're good and you have good to give, shit really starts happening. And so I implore you, let's go. Get the mics ready. I'm ready. Let's go into the Q&A. But I implore you, I'll go into every detail, but I implore you to get inside your head real quick. Figure out who you really are and figure out if what you're talking is being mapped by what you're doing. Because the second you put those things together, shit fucking unlocks. There's best practices. Everybody's different. Even if you follow the right, I put out all my content for free. I want people to follow the model, but they're all gonna everyone's gonna do it their own way. But even when I hear anybody, a startup, somebody starting at zero or potentially starting at zero, anybody here, the second I hear working smart, I get scared. I try to get them off that because working hard is the cost of entry of winning. You know nobody on earth that's made it that didn't work hard. You might know somebody who inherited money that didn't work hard, but you know nobody who's actually made it that didn't work hard. So I would just put the head down and try them all. Try them all. Here's my big thing. What is your time worth when you're not happy? Like, I hear people all the time like, oh, but I don't want to waste time. I'm like, you're fucking unhappy. Here's what people do. They're unhappy. You're not where you're at. So you put your time into dumb shit like 2K and Netflix and fucking Fortnite because you're escaping your real life. Your time's not worth anything when you're unhappy. So put it into making yourself happy, which is the fucking work to get you to where you want.